With Martin Biron, the Jets and the Habs both have big problems in net as they face off tonight. Since November 1st, Winnipeg and Montreal ranked 25th and 31st in goals against. Marty, I know, Hellebuck's out. Montembeault is struggling to hold on to a starting job right now. Which situation has got you more concerned right now?
I'm more concerned about the Montreal Canadiens situation, Gino, because you just said it. Connor Hellebuck is injured right now. He will come back and he will take the net again. So they have their guy already in Winnipeg, knowing for the future, for the second half, for the playoffs, they have him. In Montreal right now, every time one of the goalies, either Montembeault or Dobesh, take a step forward, it seems to be followed with about 4 steps back. And they are not generating any momentum. They're not making the key saves at key moment of the year of the game like they did last year. Now, I understand that Montreal is playing very loosey-goosey defensively, and they give up some really high-end chances, as you saw last night. But at the same time, you need to make the saves that you were making in the regular season last year, and it's not happening right now. So I'm concerned about the Montreal Canadiens because they don't have an answer. They can't look in their crystal ball and say, well, in 2 months from now, this will be our guy. The Jets have him. He's just injured right now. But the Montreal Canadiens don't have that guy, and it's troublesome for the Canadiens.
Maybe they have that guy in the minors. Craig Button did his core 424 rankings. He says the Habs' best prospect, not currently in the league, is a goalie, Jacob Fowler. Would you consider calling up the 21-year-old to just get a look, or is it too soon for that, Marty?
It's a little too soon for that. Now, I still want to see what Dobesh is going to do. If Montembeault can get himself going, I would give him some practice time. But, you know, he is a very young goaltender, but sometimes age is just a number. He's extremely matured. He was a stud at every level that Jacob Fowler played at, either in the USHL or in college. And now he's having a fantastic year with the Laval Rockets. So I would say this is an option, but not just yet. And for those that say, look, he should play a whole season in the American League. Yeah, in a perfect situation, he should, maybe even 2 years. But let's also look back to Igor Shesterkin. When he came over, he played 25 games in the American League, and then boom, he was up to the Rangers. Jeremy Swayman, when he left college, he played less than 10 games in the season with Providence, and then boom, he was called up to Boston. So I'm looking at individual situations. That may be in the cards, but I'd still give it about a week to 10 days to see where it goes for the Montreal Canadiens and their netminder.
I get, Marty, the fact you say you're not worried about the Jets net, but they've only had 2 wins in 7 games without Hellebuck, and they've fallen out of a playoff spot. He's still 3 or 4 weeks away from coming back. Even then, he's going to take some time to get his legs back. Can they really ride this out, Marty, or do they need to make some kind of a move before falling out of the hunt completely?
Well, making a move would make it very complicated, right? Because then you'd have 3 and potentially even 4 goalies, and you have to deal with all of that. Now, I look at the Jets as a team right now as the reason why they're not winning, not the goaltenders, not, you know, what's happening in the crease. Even before Hellebuck was put on the shelves, and, you know, the Jets weren't playing at the high level. They weren't winning games consistently like they should be, being one of the top team in the Central Division for the last few years. They weren't there, even with Connor Hellebuck. So it's about the team. You're going to have to play a lot better, a lot faster, because they're not fast right now. They're very slow. And I get that Eric Comrie is a very good backup goaltender. And maybe playing as a number 1 and always be the guy every game may be a very tough situation for him. So not something that he's used to. But how about giving this Milic kid a chance, right? He's only had 1 start, and in that start, it was 1-1 with less than 10 minutes left in the 3rd period against Carolina, and then he came in relief in Buffalo, and he looked decent. So I would say, look, give that kid maybe a look. Maybe he was a number 1 in the American League. He knows the grind. He's mentally prepared for it. Maybe that's the next option here for the Winnipeg Jets.
In a strong coincidence, the Hawks are trying to move former Jet Laurent Brossoit. The problem is, of course, he's coming back from hip surgery, and he'd come with a $3.3 million cap hit.